And look at this mess. The truth finally crawled out of the ground, screaming your name, exposing every little stunt your ex, that lawyer, and that dirty cop pulled. They said you were lying. They said you were dramatic. They said you were imagining things. Cute, real cute. Now, look who's shaking. Look who's sweating. Look who's choking on their own story. Press the like button and subscribe to pay this message back. Chosen one, let's talk real. These people thought they were untouchable. Your ex walked around like some innocent angel, hiding behind fake tears and fake stories. Their lawyer smirked like he was bulletproof. And that dirty cop, he acted like a badge made him the king of the world. They really believed their titles would save them. They thought if they stood together, they could hide everything forever. They thought no one would ever believe you. They thought you were too weak, too quiet, too broken to fight back. But look at the universe flipping their whole plan inside out. Everything they hid is now sitting on the table in plain sight. Every lie now has a big spotlight on it. Every secret they buried is crawling straight into public view. And I swear the silence around them right now is loud. You can almost feel it. That heavy air when people realize the story isn't what they thought. That little pause when someone sees the truth and doesn't know how to unsee it. Oh! Your enemies feel that pause. They're drowning in it. Chosen one, let's break their whole illusion open, because this isn't just a simple case. This was a full operation. Your ex played the helpless victim. They told people you were crazy. They told their friends you were unstable. They gave that lawyer a whole script to follow, acting like they were the good one in the story. And the cop? He covered for them. He erased things. He lost things. He twisted the story like it was some game he could win. But the universe doesn't play stupid games. The universe pays attention, and the universe remembered everything they did. You know what's wild? These three didn't even think twice. They didn't think you'd get back up. They didn't think you'd speak again. They didn't think you'd survive the pain they left you with. They thought you were done, over, finished. But then the investigation started, and suddenly their whole world turned upside down. Chosen one, let me tell you exactly what they feel right now. Your ex. They're terrified. They're checking their phone every 10 seconds. They're jumping at every notification, because they know once the truth starts spilling, their whole perfect victim act collapses. The mask is cracked. The tears don't work anymore. The lies don't stick. People are looking at them different now. They can feel it. Their lawyer. His pride took the biggest hit. This guy thought he was smarter than everyone. He thought he could twist the story so hard that even the truth would get confused. Now he's staring at documents and evidence he never expected. He's sweating through his expensive suit, trying to figure out which lie of theirs is about to blow up next. And the dirty cop. Oh, he's the one who's shaking the most, because when investigators dig into a dirty cop, they never stop at one case. They check everything, and he knows it. He knows his little tower of lies is about to collapse and bury him. Chosen one, the universe didn't expose them slowly. It ripped their whole plan open like paper. All the things they thought they handled, covered, erased. Nope. It's all coming out. Their names, their actions, their motives, everything. That's why everyone is so quiet around you now. People don't know what to say. They don't know how to act. They once treated you like the problem. Now they're avoiding eye contact because they know they were wrong. And here's the part that hits real deep. You always felt something was wrong. You always felt something off. Even when they gaslit you, even when they mocked you, even when they acted like you were dramatic, something inside you wouldn't let you rest. You knew the truth wasn't gone, it was just hiding. And now, it's standing right next to you. The universe didn't forget you, it didn't ignore you, it didn't leave you alone. It watched everything, every trick they pulled, every lie they sold, every tear you cried into your pillow, thinking no one would ever hear you. The universe held your story in its hands, and now it's handing it back with the truth glowing like fire. Chosen one, I want you to understand something powerful. They never feared the truth. They feared your truth, your voice, your memory, your strength, your comeback. They feared the moment you finally stopped blaming yourself and saw them for who they really were. They feared the day you woke up and said, "No more." And when that day came, everything started shaking in their world. And here's the fun part, the villain part, the part that makes me grin. They didn't just fail, they failed publicly, they failed loudly. They failed in front of all the people they lied to. Your ex's friends are whispering. Their family is confused. The lawyer's reputation is cracking. The cop's career is sliding off a cliff. These people are scared of consequences now. They're scared of the truth. They're scared of you getting stronger every single day. Chosen one, I want you to picture something. Picture yourself standing in the middle of everything they tried to destroy, and you're still here, breathing, smiling, healing, growing, while they're falling apart behind closed doors. You didn't just survive. You won. You won because you didn't lose yourself. You didn't turn into them. You didn't become bitter or hateful. You held on to yourself even when they wanted to break it. The universe rewards that kind of strength. And the reward is happening right now. Let me go deeper. Remember back then, when you felt alone, when no one believed you, when people said maybe you misunderstood, when even you questioned yourself at night. Those moments are the reason this victory hits so hard now. Because you went through the pain alone, and you're receiving the truth in front of everyone. This moment is bigger than justice. It's closure. It's proof, it's validation, it's the universe saying you were right. And I'll tell you something real. Your enemy's biggest fear isn't the investigation. It isn't the consequences. It isn't the exposure. Their biggest fear is you rising after everything they did. You standing tall. You speaking clearly. You holding your head high. You being free from the chains they wrapped around your name. And look at you now, chosen one. You didn't just break those chains, you shattered them. You walked out of the fire with your voice stronger than ever. Meanwhile, your enemies are trying to pick up the pieces of their own lies. They're trying to keep their stories straight. They're trying to figure out who they can trust now. Spoiler, no one. Because snakes always turn on each other when the heat rises. This is your era. This is your moment. This is your turn to breathe again. Chosen one, you're not watching karma. You are karma. You're the reminder that you cannot destroy a good person and expect to stay safe forever. The investigation uncovered everything, and the universe is nowhere near done with them. And chosen one, if you're still here after everything we just exposed, then you're built different. Take a breath, lock in, and get ready, because what comes next is where the real fire starts. Drop a comment with the number 777 if you're ready to watch every lie your ex, their lawyer, and that dirty cop tried to hide crumble right in front of them. And if you want to power this mission forward, feel free to hit the super thanks. It keeps this truth alive, and trust me, the universe sees every bit of support, big or small. Now, let's slide into the next part step by step, and if you're a real chosen one, you'll feel that pull in your chest, telling you to stay till the very end. This is where the mask rips, the story breaks, and everything they hid gets dragged into the light. Let's get started. Number 1. The 3 cowards finally tripped over their own lies. Funny how loud they were when they thought you were powerless, and how quiet they got the second the truth walked in wearing your name. Chosen one, let's tear straight into this, because these three clowns don't deserve a gentle introduction. Your ex, their lawyer, and that dirty cop really believed they were some unstoppable force. They strutted around acting like the universe handed them a license to play with your life. They thought their roles made them powerful, the manipulator, the mouthpiece, and the badge. But power without truth is just borrowed time, and their time just ran out. Let's expose how they really operated, and while we do, let me answer the questions already forming in your mind, the ones you used to whisper to yourself in the dark. How did they get away with it for so long? Why did nobody see it? Was I crazy for feeling something was wrong? No, chosen one. You were never crazy. You were surrounded by people pretending to be good while quietly setting fire to everything you cared about. Your ex? They were the architect of the mess. They knew exactly what they were doing from day one. They weren't confused. They weren't lost. They weren't emotional. They were calculated. Every sad moment, every guilt trip, every dramatic meltdown was staged. They weaponized your empathy. They turned your kindness into their playground. And when they realized you were catching on, they panicked. They recruited help. That's when the team formed. The lawyer stepped in like some twisted magician, throwing paperwork, rules, and jargon around like confetti, hoping you'd get overwhelmed and back down. This wasn't strategy, it was fear. Because if the truth ever surfaced, he'd lose everything he built his reputation on. So he did what cowards do. He bent the system, tweaked details, twisted words, hid what didn't fit his narrative. And he did it with a smile, like the truth couldn't touch him. Then there was the cop, the one who was supposed to protect you. Instead, he bent the badge around your neck like a noose and pulled the rope every time your ex needed backup. He erased things he shouldn't erase. He rewrote things that were never his to rewrite. He weaponized trust. And the worst part? He genuinely thought no one would ever question him. That's what made him dangerous, his arrogance. He thought the badge made him untouchable. Together, these three thought they formed some unbeatable trio. They moved as one. Your ex fed the lies, the lawyer cleaned the lies, and the cop buried the lies. They crafted this little secret world where everything they did was justified, and everything you said was dramatic, and for a while, chosen one. It looked like they were winning. They made you doubt yourself. They made others doubt you. They twisted the story until you barely recognized the truth yourself. Let me tell you something harsh but honest. You were fighting an entire system built to protect them, not you. But here's the twist that makes this moment legendary. Systems built on lies always collapse. Always. The universe doesn't let corruption stay clean. It rots from the inside, quietly, slowly, until everything falls apart at once. And that's exactly what happened to them. They didn't fall because you fought wrong. They fell because their foundation was made of lies, so thin a single drop of truth cracked the whole thing open. Let's talk motivation, because I know you're thinking, why me? Why did they put so much effort into destroying me? Simple. You were the only one they couldn't control. They could manipulate others. They could intimidate others. They could trick others, but not you. You saw through them in ways they couldn't explain. You felt their intentions before they spoke. You noticed the small shifts, the sudden changes, the weird behaviors, and that made you dangerous to them, so they tried to break you before you exposed them. They failed, and now they're choking on the very plan they built, because the investigation didn't just catch one mistake, it exposed the entire chain of corruption. When one lie cracked, it dragged all the others with it. Your ex's stories stopped matching the lawyer's version. The lawyer's paperwork didn't match the cops' reports, and the cops' reports didn't match the facts. The investigators didn't even need to dig deep. Your enemies practically handed them the proof with all their sloppy cover-ups. Chosen one, picture this. The same people who once walked around laughing at your pain are now sitting in rooms they never wanted to be in, facing questions they can't answer, trying to explain actions they can't defend. They're replaying every moment in their heads, terrified about which part of their lie surfaced first. They're not worried about justice, they're worried about exposure, because exposure is what kills people like them. Exposure strips their mask, their power, their fake image. Let me pour some more truth into your veins. You didn't beat them with revenge. You beat them with survival. You kept living. You kept standing. You kept telling your truth even when no one believed you. You kept pushing even when the world felt deaf. And that persistence, that's what cracked them open. That's what forced the universe to step in. And here's a metaphor that fits them perfectly. They built a castle out of sugar and then acted shocked when it melted in the rain. Everything they hid is now exposed. The documents, the messages, the changes in reports, the stories that don't line up, the actions that don't make sense, the sudden defensive behavior, the nervous reactions, the slip-ups, the contradictions. All of it, it's all out. Let me answer another question you've held inside for too long. Why did people believe them and not me? Because they performed, they put on a show, they rehearsed, they acted. You, chosen one, were real, and real never looks as tidy as fake. But now the show is over. The audience woke up, and the spotlight moved. It's shining on them now, hard, brutal, blinding. Chosen one, I want you to understand the power of this moment. This is not just a collapse. This is justice breathing down their neck. This is karma walking in slow and smiling. This is the universe saying, enough. Your ex can't hide behind fake tears anymore. The lawyer can't hide behind paperwork. The cop can't hide behind his badge. Their trio is broken, exposed, finished, not because they were caught, but because you refused to lose yourself. Stand tall now. This is your moment. Their collapse is your confirmation. Their downfall is your proof. Their fear is your closure. And chosen one, this is only the beginning. Number 2. Their secret network got dragged into the sun. They swore you were imagining things, but the receipts don't lie. Their own messages just snitched harder than any witness ever could. The funny thing about darkness is, it screams when the light hits it. Cowards hide messages, warriors hide nothing. Chosen one, sit with this for a second. Everything they tried to cover, lock, encrypt, bury, delete, and disguise is now blowing up right in their faces. All those encrypted messages they swore didn't exist. They're out. All those late-night emails they thought looked professional, exposed. All the whispered meetings in parking lots, the fake work calls, the secret bank transfers. Every single thread just got pulled into daylight like the universe reached in and said, let me show you something. And don't act like you didn't feel this coming. Deep down, you always knew something felt off. Why are they being weird? Why do they look nervous when certain topics come up? Why do they suddenly go silent when you enter the room? You weren't paranoid. You were surrounded by people who were working overtime to hide the truth. They were scared of what you would do if you ever saw what they were saying when you weren't looking. Let's tear this open properly. Your ex thought they were slick, sending messages late at night, double deleting things, using apps that erase after viewing, switching accounts like it made them untouchable. They planned stories. They rehearsed new lies. They kept everyone in the loop, except you. They were building a version of events where they looked like the angel and you looked like the storm. And guess what? Those exact messages are now the reason they can't sleep. The lawyer wasn't just responding, he was coordinating, he was advising, he was telling your ex what to say, what not to say, how to twist your words, how to avoid responsibility. He thought his fancy legal terms would protect him. He thought encrypted emails made him invisible, but encryption doesn't matter when investigators already have the key. And the dirty cop, oh, chosen one, he left the biggest trail. He deleted things, he changed timestamps, he moved reports from one folder to another, he took calls late at night he thought no one would ever trace. But corruption is sloppy, and sloppy leaves fingerprints. Now, every file he touched is glowing like neon. Imagine this, a whole group working behind your back, whispering in shadows, passing secret messages around like middle schoolers hiding notes in class. And suddenly, the entire folder lands on the table in front of investigators. No warning, no mercy, just raw truth. Imagine this. Them sitting in their homes, scrolling through the leaks with shaking hands, realizing every lie they carefully crafted now has a screenshot next to it, realizing every insult they sent, every plan they made, every shift in their tone is now evidence. Imagine this. Their colleagues reading those messages and thinking, so this is who they really are. The disgust, the shock, the embarrassment, the sudden urge to distance themselves as fast as possible. Because that's the funniest part. People are abandoning them. Colleagues who used to hype them up now quietly walk away. Friends who believed their fake stories now sit in silence, ashamed. People who once mocked you. They're staring at the leaks like, damn, I misjudged everything. And let me answer a question that probably punched your chest before. Why didn't anyone see this earlier? Because they were good at pretending. They were charming. They were polished. They rehearsed their lies until they became second nature. They performed. And the world loves a good performance. But now that the mask fell, people can't unsee the real face underneath. You're witnessing something rare, chosen one. This is what it looks like when fake reputations start rotting in public. Let's go deeper, brutally deeper. Those encrypted chats didn't just expose lies, they exposed intentions. They exposed how they talked about you behind closed doors, how they tried to destroy your credibility, how they planned to twist events, how they plotted to make you look like the villain. Some people hide their truth behind locked messages, but the universe has a habit of unlocking everything when the time is right. That's what happened here. Not karma, not luck. Just truth doing what truth always does. Taking its time, then striking like a hammer. Chosen one, this moment is bigger than exposure. This is humiliation. This is collapse. This is everything they built falling apart because they forgot one simple rule. When you play dirty, you eventually get dirty. The lawyer's emails show him coaching lies. The ex's messages show manipulation in its purest form. The cop's communication logs show him panicking the moment he sensed an investigation coming. All three of them look guilty not because someone accused them, but because their own words tell the whole story. Let me tell you why this hits so hard for you. You didn't get closure back then. You didn't get answers. You didn't get justice. You just got pain. Pain they created. Pain they enjoyed. Pain they shared with each other like trophies. But now you're getting every answer they tried to hide. You're seeing every message they swore never happened. You're watching their lies eat them alive. And here's the psychological twist. Nothing destroys a liar faster than their own receipts. Chosen one, here's another metaphor because it fits perfectly. They lit a match in a dark cave, thinking no one would see it. But the flame spread. It touched the walls, and now the whole cave is on fire, exposing every crack they tried to hide. Their entire network of deception is laid out like a crime board. The arrows, the links, the dates, the transfers, the messages. Everything shows they weren't just lying, they were actively planning to hurt you. And this is the part that hits your soul. The same people who mocked your instincts now use those same instincts as proof that you were right all along. They remember every time you said, "Something doesn't feel right," and they brushed you off. They remember calling you dramatic, too sensitive, overthinking. And now those same people feel stupid for believing such polished liars. Let me answer another question you used to whisper to yourself. Were they all working together the whole time? Yes, and now the messages prove it. Their coordination, their planning, their shared hatred, their shared fear of you exposing them. It's all in writing. You weren't imagining patterns. You weren't overanalyzing behavior. You weren't being emotional. You were in the middle of a conspiracy designed to silence you. And the universe finally dragged every hidden piece into the light. Chosen one, understand this. Their downfall didn't start with the investigation. It started the day they underestimated you. The messages didn't betray them. Their arrogance did. Their entitlement did. Their belief that they could twist the story forever did. And now they're paying. Their jobs are shaking. Their reputations are bleeding out. Their friends are stepping back. Their families are confused. Their names don't carry the same weight. And in every room they walk into, someone is looking at them thinking, "So that's who you really are." Meanwhile, you're rising. You're breathing easier. You're getting answers you deserved years ago. You're getting validation for every instinct, every feeling, every moment you doubted yourself. Chosen one, their communications weren't just exposed. Their souls were exposed. Their real motives, their real nature, their real intentions. And the universe made sure you got to see it first. This isn't the end of the story. This is the fuel. This is the clarity. This is the moment you realize the universe never ignored your pain. It was building the perfect moment to reveal everything. Chosen one, this collapse is only getting louder. Number 3. The machine they trusted just ate them alive. Funny how the system they weaponized suddenly remembers how to do its job the second it turns on them. Chosen one, this is the part of the story where the universe stops whispering and starts knocking their teeth out. The same system your ex, their lawyer, and that dirty cop used to bully you is now chewing them up piece by piece. They thought they owned the machine. They thought they controlled the room. They thought they had the upper hand. But the system never belonged to them. It just tolerated them until the truth showed up. New officials stepped in, and these ones don't owe your enemies a damn thing. No favors, no friendships, no history to protect. They look at your case with fresh eyes and sharp minds, and suddenly the whole house of cards your enemies built starts shaking. Old files they lost, they're back. Evidence they swore never existed. Sitting right there on a desk, reports that magically vanished, recovered. And the timing is too perfect to be coincidence. You might be thinking, why now? Why didn't this happen earlier? Because corruption protects corruption until someone new walks in with nothing to hide and everything to prove. And now, chosen one, the universe put the right people in the right seats at the right moment. Witnesses who once shook in fear. They're talking now, loudly, clearly, confidently. Subpoenas hit your enemies like thunderclaps. Your ex gets one and their hands shake so hard they almost drop it. The lawyer sees his own name on a legal notice and his stomach hits the floor. And that cop, watching search warrants get executed on his turf, is the kind of poetic justice villains pretend they're too tough to fear. Even judges who used to rubber stamp their lies now look at every page with suspicion, every signature, every timestamp, every mistake. Chosen one. This isn't karma. This is the universe flipping the entire system on your enemies and saying, your turn. Number 4. The justice engine roars back and drags them under. They thought the machine was dead. It was just sleeping, waiting for the perfect moment to bite the hand that abused it. Chosen one, this is where the universe stops playing around. The same system your enemies use to corner you, silence you, and twist the truth suddenly wakes up like a giant opening one eye and realizing someone's been poking it for too long. And when this machine wakes up, it doesn't come back gentle. It comes back hungry. Prosecutors start pulling files like they're flipping over gravestones. Old cases your ex, their lawyer, and that cop thought were buried, they're getting dragged up and dusted off. Every inconsistency, every fake report, every suspicious signature, and with each file opened, the noose around your enemies tightens. Even defense attorneys, the same ones who used to laugh with the trio, quietly step away. They don't want smoke with this. No lawyer wants to attach their name to sinking ships, especially when those ships are leaking corruption from every side. Internal affairs moves next, and trust me, chosen one, that department doesn't knock softly. They take computers, they take phones, they take flash drives, they take logs, they take anything that could speak, and everything speaks. Internal affairs doesn't come to ask questions. They come to dismantle careers. Banking officials trace every shady transfer your enemies thought they hid. Money they moved under the radar suddenly glows like it's radioactive. Tax authorities sniff around next, and nobody escapes them. Misreported income, fake deductions, hidden accounts. It all crawls out of the dark. You might be wondering, how is everything coming out at once? Because once one system wakes up, they all wake up. That's how corruption works. Once one thread unravels, the whole fake identity they built comes apart like cheap fabric. Your ex's innocent persona, gone. The lawyer's professional mask, cracked. The cop's respectable image, destroyed. And the public, they're furious. Outrage rises like a wave, and your enemies feel every drop of it. Chosen one, the justice machine isn't just reawakening, it's eating them alive. Number 5, their heartfelt act just got burned to ashes. Some people don't wear masks, they are the mask. And the second it slips, the monster underneath starts screaming. Chosen one, this is the part where their entire personality melts under the spotlight. Every smile they gave you was rehearsed. Every tear they forced out was scripted. Every I love you, every trust me, every dramatic meltdown, staged. They weren't expressing emotions, they were performing them. They weren't loving you, they were studying you. And now that their private messages are out, the whole world sees it too. Those screenshots, they're lethal. They show exactly how they talked about you when they thought you'd never find out. No warmth, no humanity, just strategy, just control, just cold little plots spelled out in plain text. They discussed you like you were an object, not a person. They treated your pain like a project. They planned your downfall like a schedule. And the universe made sure every word is now pinned to their names forever. You might catch yourself wondering, was any of it real? Here's the truth. Their love wasn't love. It was leverage. Everything they said was a move. Everything they did was a setup. Everything they showed was a costume. Imagine this. Them smiling in public, acting supportive, acting gentle, while texting your enemies at night about how to handle you. Imagine them holding your hand in the day and plotting illegal surveillance at midnight. Imagine them sharing a bed with you while planning how to carve up your assets behind your back. That's the level of cold you were dealing with. The lawyer encouraged it. The cop joined it. Your ex led it. And now the recordings spill everything. The fake tone of their voices, the rehearsed sadness, the fake concern, gone. Every new leak strips another piece of their persona until all that's left is the truth. A truth they can't run from anymore. Chosen one, understand this. They didn't lose their mask. Their mask was ripped off by evidence, by witnesses, by their own words, by the universe. And now everyone sees them for what they always were. Number 6. Their family tree just turned into a crime scene. You weren't fighting one person, you were fighting an entire bloodline raised on manipulation like it was a family tradition. Chosen one, this is where the whole foundation under them cracks open. It wasn't just your ex acting dirty, it was the ecosystem that created them. A family that treats manipulation like oxygen, a family that thinks hierarchy is a birthright, a family that looked at you not as a partner but as a threat to their control. And now the universe is dragging their entire clan into the spotlight, one branch at a time. Investigators start following the money, and suddenly things that never made sense start clicking. Fake jobs created for relatives, random gifts that were actually hidden payments, shady business deals disguised as family projects, money bouncing between accounts like a secret language they thought no outsider would ever decode. But the machine of justice doesn't care about family ties. It cares about patterns, and the pattern here is rotten. You might wonder, did they all know? Here's the truth. Most of them knew enough. Some knew everything. None of them stopped it. Parents raised your ex to see manipulation as survival. Siblings stood by and watched you get torn apart because silence was easier. Relatives held pieces of the truth and kept their mouths shut, hoping the fallout would never reach them. They built a family image of unity. But unity built on secrets always shatters under pressure. And that pressure is here now. Imagine this. The same relatives who once whispered about you behind closed doors are now scrambling to delete messages, hide accounts, and distance themselves. Imagine their family group chats blowing up in panic. Imagine their unity melting the moment investigators show up with questions they can't wiggle out of. This isn't just exposure, it's collapse. Their family name, once their shield, is now the evidence tag. Chosen one. You didn't just survive a toxic person. You survived an entire network built to protect them. And now that network is falling apart in the harshest way possible. Number 7. They waged war on your mind and still lost. When someone tries to break your reality, it's because they're terrified of what you'd see if you ever opened your eyes. Chosen one, what they did to you went far deeper than paperwork, threats, or shady legal moves. They didn't just go after your name or your resources, they went straight for your mind. They wanted your sanity cracked, they wanted your confidence drained, they wanted your internal compass spinning so wildly that you couldn't trust your own heartbeat. That's how scared they were of you seeing the truth. Their attacks weren't random, they were calculated. Every lie, every sudden mood swing, every twisted conversation was meant to confuse you. They needed you off balance. They needed you doubting yourself. Because if you ever trusted your instincts fully, they knew their entire game would collapse overnight. Let me answer the question you probably held deep inside. Why did they keep gaslighting me even when I hadn't done anything wrong? Because your awareness was the biggest threat in the room. You could sense tension before anyone spoke. You detected lies before they left their mouths. You saw patterns they hoped no one would ever notice. Gaslighting wasn't punishment, it was fear, their fear of your clarity. Imagine this, them panicking every time you had a quiet moment. Them watching your eyes when you started connecting dots. Them switching the story mid-sentence because they saw you catching on. They treated your intuition like a weapon because that's exactly what it was. And still, chosen one, even when they hit you with their worst psychological tricks, something inside you refused to die. That inner flame, the one they tried so hard to smother, didn't bend, didn't dim, didn't break. Even on the days you questioned your reality, something in you whispered, "This isn't you, this is them." Every attempt they made to disconnect you from your truth only revealed how powerful that truth really was. Your mind survived an assault designed to destroy it. Your clarity lived through a storm built to erase it. And the universe took note. Chosen one, they attacked your sanity like cowards, and you still walked out with your truth intact. Number 8. The money trail they hid just set their house on fire. The truth doesn't need revenge, it just needs a paper trail, and theirs is screaming your name. Chosen one, this is where the universe hits them in the one place liars can't fake, the numbers. Emotions can be acted, stories can be twisted, but money? Money snitches every single time, and your enemies left fingerprints on every dollar they tried to bury. Financial investigators start digging, and suddenly everything your ex, that lawyer and the dirty cop thought they cleaned up, starts glowing like neon signs in the dark. Timed transfers, suspicious withdrawals, property ownerships flipped back and forth like cheap poker chips, tax forms that looked like they were filled out by someone panicking at 3 a.m. Their entire financial world becomes a map, and every line points straight to corruption. You might ask, why did they try so hard to hide money instead of just walking away clean? Because they never planned to walk away. They planned to take everything they could from you, your resources, your security, your stability, your future. They weren't just stealing things, they were trying to cripple you. Imagine this. Investigators picking up bank statements and seeing transfers timed perfectly with their lies. Property deeds switching hands the moment you got too close to the truth. Accounts under fake names suddenly exposed, and documents they forged now being held under forensic scanners like crime weapons. The lawyer? He didn't just help, he built a full blueprint of fraud. He drafted documents meant to cut you out of what was rightfully yours. He coordinated signatures, he altered dates, he played puppet master with paperwork like he was above consequences. The cop? He rerouted investigations that were getting too close. He misplaced evidence. He filed incomplete reports. He covered financial red flags with sloppy explanations he never expected anyone to question. And your ex. They benefited from all of it. They let money flow around them like a secret river, pretending innocence while collecting stolen gain behind closed doors. Now, financial specialists are reconstructing every step, every transaction, every signature, every hidden account. The puzzle they thought would stay broken forever is being rebuilt piece by piece, and the picture it forms is ugly, undeniable, and deadly to their fake reputations. Chosen one, numbers don't lie, documents don't lie, money doesn't lie. But your enemies did, and now their own paper trail is dragging them into the fire they lit for you. Number 9. The silent witnesses just turned into a truth stampede. Cowards stay quiet until one brave voice cracks the dam. Then every hidden truth rushes out like a flood. Chosen one, this is the moment your enemies never planned for, the moment people finally grow a spine and start talking. All those individuals who saw something, sensed something, overheard something, or quietly questioned the trio's behavior. They're coming out of the shadows now, and the funniest part, your enemies can't stop any of it. They can't threaten everyone. They can't silence everyone. They can't intimidate the whole room. The fear people once had is gone. When corruption starts cracking, witnesses suddenly remember everything with perfect clarity. Legal assistants who thought something felt wrong start saving emails and forwarding messages. Junior officers who noticed missing files begin submitting anonymous tips. Acquaintances who overheard shady conversations suddenly feel guilty for staying silent. Even people close to your ex, the ones who used to swear you were the problem, are stepping forward, dropping receipts like grenades. You might wonder, why now? Why didn't they help earlier? Because people move when the power shifts. When they sensed the trio collapsing, they finally felt safe. When the mask fell, they finally felt free. When the truth surfaced, they finally felt responsible. Then comes the big one, the insider. The person your enemies trusted, the one who knew too much and stayed loyal for too long. Every villain has a right-hand man until that man decides he doesn't want to go down with the ship. This insider breaks rank and hands investigators evidence so sharp it cuts open the entire case. Messages, documents, timelines, names, details only someone on the inside could know. Their testimony doesn't just add to the story, it unlocks it. Imagine this, one person speaking turns into 5. 5 turn into dozens. Dozens turn into a tidal wave. Every voice becomes another crack in the fake world your enemies built. Every tip becomes another nail in their coffin. Every confession becomes another spotlight they can't escape. Chosen one, the truth isn't trickling out anymore. It's roaring. And your enemies are drowning in the very secrets they thought would stay buried forever. Number 10. Their little alliance just imploded on camera. There's no loyalty in corruption. The moment the heat rises, every snake slithers in a different direction. Chosen one, this is the part you deserve to enjoy. The trio that once strutted around like they were some unstoppable force is now breaking apart faster than rotten wood. Their so-called teamwork wasn't loyalty, it was fear. And fear collapses under pressure every single time. Your ex is pointing fingers like a child caught stealing candy. One minute they swear the lawyer masterminded everything, the next they're claiming they never understood the paperwork. Cute, the lawyer, who once played the puppet master, now acts shocked, pretending your ex misled him and that he was just following client direction, as if he didn't coach half the lies himself. And the dirty cop, He's crying about department culture, pretending he was pressured, pretending he didn't enjoy every moment of bending the rules for his own gain. You might wonder, why are they all turning on each other now? Because criminals don't trust each other. They never did. They were united only when they were hurting you. Once the system turned its gaze their way, they became strangers overnight. And their panic is loud, messages deleted, files accidentally corrupted, computers suddenly crashing like they caught a virus at the exact moment investigators requested data. Funny how their electronics worked perfectly until the truth came knocking. But every sloppy move just exposes them more. Every disappearance of evidence looks like an admission. Every contradiction in their statements sounds like a confession. Every attempt to rewrite the story makes the original lie even uglier. Imagine them sitting in separate rooms during questioning, knowing they can't line up their stories anymore. Imagine them wondering which one will flip first. Imagine the paranoia. The same paranoia they tried to plant in you. Their unity wasn't real. Their alliance was a costume, and now the costume is burning. Chosen one. They didn't just turn on each other, they destroyed each other. Number 11. The truth you carried alone now stands like a giant. They called you paranoid, now they call you right. Funny how fast the room changes when evidence speaks louder than excuses. Chosen one, this is the moment the whole universe turns and looks straight at you, not with pity, not with confusion, but with recognition. Everything they once mocked, dismissed, or twisted into a joke now stands in full daylight as fact. The same story they tried to bury has grown stronger than every lie they built around it. Documents line up with your memory. Recordings echo your words. Witnesses repeat the things you were gaslit for saying. Every piece falls perfectly into place, like the truth itself waited for the right moment to roar. You might find yourself thinking, why didn't they believe me before? Because people believe what's convenient. People believe what's loudest. People believe what flatters their comfort. But now the evidence is louder than their opinions ever were. The apologies come in two forms. Some brave enough to say it directly. Most too embarrassed to speak, but their silence is heavier than any sorry. Their eyes say everything. They misjudged you, and they know it. Professional doors they shut in your face. They slide open again, this time with respect. Connections that once backed away now edge closer, realizing you weren't the problem. You were the one surrounded by it. Your name, which they tried to stain, starts shining again. Your resources, your opportunities, your stability, all of it begins returning, piece by piece. And here's the truth that hits deepest. You didn't get respect because you suffered. You got respect because you survived. Imagine standing in a room where everyone once whispered about you, and now they whisper about how you were right from day one. Imagine circles that once excluded you quietly rebuilding themselves around your presence. Imagine feeling the shift, not in your mind, but in the way people treat your name when it leaves their lips. You're no longer the victim of the story. You're the one who walked through a conspiracy designed to break your spirit and came out sharper, stronger, and more unshakable than they ever imagined. Chosen one, vindication isn't a moment, it's a crown. And it just landed on your head. Number 12. The whole community just woke up and saw who the real one was. They built a crowd against you, and now that same crowd is backing away from them like they're radioactive. Chosen one, this is the part where the world around you finally opens its eyes. The community, the same community that once sided with your ex, believed the lawyer and trusted the officer, is now in full shock. People who once defended them can't even look them in the eye. The illusion they lived in has shattered. Everything they said, everything they performed, everything they used to weaponize the crowd against you, flipped. And now their own allies feel sick remembering how they treated you. Colleagues of the lawyer whisper in hallways. Community members question every past interaction with the cop. Organizations that once condemned you suddenly revisit their stance, rewriting statements like they were never part of the smear campaign, and invitations start appearing. The same doors they slammed shut in your face now swing open like they've been waiting for you. You might ask yourself, why are they all switching sides now? Because truth rearranges the room. It forces people to reassess. It exposes who acted out of ignorance and who acted out of malice. And here's the powerful twist. People inspired by your endurance now step into the light. Professionals offer help. Those who were silent victims finally speak because you showed them it's possible. The loneliness they engineered around you dissolves as real support gathers. Imagine this. People who once avoided you now come closer. People who once doubted you now protect you. People who once whispered lies now whisper admiration. Your intuition is sharper, your boundaries stronger, your power undeniable. What was meant to break you became the blueprint for your rise. None of this was random. The timing, the evidence resurfacing, the right people appearing. It was the universe realigning around your truth, clearing obstacles one by one. Chosen one, what was designed to destroy you is now the proof of your resilience, your clarity, and your unshakable spirit. The universe didn't just restore balance, it crowned you with victory in front of everyone who doubted you.